Alright guys, in today's video, we're going to be breaking down the Masters of Evil and their influence on war. That's right, this is not just a Crucible team. This team is crushing it in war right now, both on the defensive and offensive end. I'm going to show a bunch of examples here. I'll give you my final recommendation or where they will benefit you and your alliance the most. But before we do that, a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Bloodline, Heroes of Lithis. If you haven't already, make sure you download the game using the link in the description below or by using the QR code in the top right corner. This will get you a special starter pack valued at $20. Whether it's managing your economy, journeying through the campaigns, controlling your Senate, your dungeons, or even your air system, there are countless modes for you to enjoy in Bloodline. Some of my favorite are the arena and boss battles. I'm a sucker for the big bads. In 2023, Bloodline has introduced a new mode, Guild Wars. You're going to have brand new maps. Alongside your guildmates, you're going to conquer territories and claim amazing rewards. We've spoken about Bloodline before, and I'm always happy to bring this game up, as it's one of my favorite hero collector RPG games. From the amazing graphics, smooth gameplay, or intuitive progression systems, Bloodline ticks all the boxes I look for when it comes to hero collectors. Keep an eye out in the Guild War feature, as this is how you'll create the most unique hybrid champions, the Bloodcraft Legends. She looks super cool, and I can't wait to see what she does in the battlefield. Bloodline hasn't forgotten what made it one of the most intriguing games out there though. New Bloodlines are constantly being added, and the potential for more legendary hybrids just grows with that number. I've said it once, I'll say it again. Demon, lightning god, werewolves, that is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in the game. Download the game and play this very free-to-play friendly hero collector. For the next 7 days, the first 20 players who comment their account ID and username will receive a free Legendary Orc Champion. Use this powerful warrior to rock yourself far into the game. Will you be the one to conquer Lithis?
New legends will be born. Download free now.
So we do have some built-in counters to the Massive Evil team. We're going to be doing most of our testing here with Chavez, Doom, and Dorm. So we do have Mirror Matchup, which works as great. The Weapon X teamwork, but that's a really big pull. Cloak and Dagger with the Tangled Web, another big pull. And then we have huge pulls. A-Force, Underworld, and War Dogs to round it out. So as you can see, if these are the teams needed to beat Massive Evil, they clearly have a lot of benefit on the defensive side as they're going to drain your opponent's roster. We're going to show all that right now. Here we are. We're going to do our testing right now, and we're using it against a pretty big team. So it's a 1.17 million team in practice. It is a giant Kang, and Kang changes everything for this team. Later on in the video, we'll show you how you have some more options if there is a small Kang. And that might be normal for most players because of the method in which they're releasing him, especially the offers being ludicrous. So let's start this off by doing a mirror matchup at around 200 power. I have Surfer plugged in here. I think Surfer is a great fit because he can just help you get around that Absorbing Man if all else fails. So Kang opens it up. He's going to hit the Absorbing Man, and you notice I don't have Ultron adjacent to Absorbing Man because I don't want Ultron to get slow. The enemy does have Ultron next to it because you really want that Chavez to be speeding up the Titania and the Kang. If Ultron was positioned differently, I wouldn't take this team in. We also unfortunately got the ability block, so it's not like we can get that taunt up or heal, but that's why Surfer is going to come in clutch here, and he's going to remove all those nice buffs that Absorbing Man was holding on to. Next, I'll go ahead and put an ability block on Kang, plus a bunch of other buffs, because you got to remember, he does clear two debuffs on his turn. And there you go, so he kept the ability block there, and that's why this is kind of a soft counter. At 200k punch-up, definitely pretty sketchy. And it looks like we actually lost our Kang on this big punch-up. So this is probably going to be an L at this point, but let's see what we can muster here. Let's go for the basic to try and steal his defense up, and then we'll do another basic to finish off that Kang. Yeah, Kang hits like a truck, but he's still very, very squishy. What would have happened if my Kang wasn't a baby Kang compared to his, is my Kang would have ulted and completely cleared the field. He would have completely cleared the field. Luckily, I still have my Ultron. We'll get more bots up, and then we're going to be able to run through this. So this was a 200k punch-up in practice. Still a little sketchy, but it'll work in a pinch. And on a punch across, I think he would just demolish. So let's take out this Absorbing Man before he gets his taunt up. And now we can put all our efforts into just, I don't know, clearing these bots. They're not doing anything for us. Or anything to us, rather. Steal all those buffs from Titania. Thank you. Summon up more bots, because why not? Keep taking out these bots, the enemy bots, so they're not given a bunch of buffs. Nice turn me to rewind. Ooh, let's give her slow. Nice. Let's do a turn me to rewind on her. Take out this bot. Ooh, he's still alive. That's okay. We'll alt her off the face of the planet because Ultron hits like an absolute truck now that they gave everyone 5 red stars on him. And we have a Twitch file. I'm not live. So, Laser, if you happen to watch this video, thank you for checking out the VOD and subscribing. Number 2, which is Weapon X. This is a very, very clean option. Right now, Weapon X is kind of hovering between being a cap for higher counter, Hero as Guardian, sometimes in Avengers, sometimes Unlimited. All those teams have other options, though. So this one feels pretty good. You get that ability block on Absorbing Man, not that that matters. You're just stuck there. He's going to put slow, and it doesn't matter who he puts slow on or who the ability block. All that stuff does not matter. Because what's going to happen is Silver Samurai is going to shake that off. You will push the Absorbing Man to 50%, either with Sabretooth or Wolverine Special. Doesn't matter which. And then you're going to be able to stun the Kang. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. And then you stun the Kang. Because Silver Samurai just shakes off those, unless it's a stun, he just shakes it off. And let's go ahead and start taking people out. Titania's almost gone. Let's put an extra bleed on Ultron so he doesn't come back. And then, yeah, so you see Weapon X completely demolishes. No surprise there. And then we have the Tangled Web with Cloak and Dagger. This, I think, is my preferred method. There seems to be very little that can go wrong here. So what's going to happen is we get to do a bunch of attacks. I want to do the special with Noir just to give him speed. You see Noir's going to take like a bazillion turns here because of those Ultron bots. Cloak survived that big hit from the 6 red star. And now I have a stun up, so I can go ahead and I can stun Kang. I can stun Ultron. I can stun Titania. I can stun whoever I want. We're definitely going to go for Kang here because his ultimate will shred you to pieces. And if you were upset that they, you know, quote unquote nerfed Kang, you'll be happy once you feel what like a 6 red star Kang can do to you if he's on the defensive end. Let's go ahead and take out Absorbing Man because why not? This is probably the worst RNG I've ever had on this matchup, which is kind of funny. It always happens when you're trying to do a recording for it. Let's take Kang out. Let's go ahead and take out the Accelerator bot, if we can. No, that's okay. You see Noir getting a turn right away again just because of all those buffs that went up. And there goes Ultron, and there goes Titania. So yeah, not having the dagger special there felt a little bad, but we still just kind of power through it. So I really like this counter. Well, let's go look at it like an overkill counter now. A-Force. I think A-Force is kind of wasted here, in my opinion. I would definitely rather use the Tangled Web. And then after this, we'll look at what to do if your enemy like supercharges their Masters of Evil with either Doom or Dorm. I do think those versions are better than the Chavez version, but they still have hard counters, which is good. So this is super easy. You're not likely to die off the pull because you do have defense up on most of your characters. Even here, it went for Namor, but I think Namor has deflex. Now we'll use the special from Spider-Woman. Make sure Spider-Woman is a striker here. Once Absorbing Man gets pushed into yellow, he'll drop his taunt, and then evades don't matter to Captain Marvel. We flip that defense up to defense down. This 6 red star Kang is a blaster. He's super squishy. He gets completely rolled over. And here, if Namor reaches his turn, it's just done. Unfortunately, Ultron didn't get turn meter rewind because he just died. But that's okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can take out these bots before they do their thing. The answer to that is no. So who's Ultron going to kill? He's going to kill Jessica Jones. Don't care whatsoever because Ultron already lost 1 life, which means the next life will be his last. And there you go. So I think that's very much an overkill. Let's go look at the harder versions. Let's look at a step up from the Chavez version. Let's go ahead and throw Doom in there. And we can't use the counters we were using before, okay? Infinity Watch is going to have a really hard time because you got to focus that Doom instead of the Kang, who's going to blow you up. Tangled Web might actually be okay. We'll go ahead and test them. And the mirror matchup will have a very hard time again for the same reason. So this matchup plays out pretty much the same every time unless Nakia is targeted by the primary Kang hit and gets slow. But you're still fine, because then Black Panther, when Million goes first, he steals all these buffs, and then you just play it out the same way. We're going to play it out here in a second. So we got all those buffs off. I'm actually going to go ahead and steal these abilities, or sorry, these buffs from Kang. And now Black Panther is about to start popping off. Let's go ahead and take out Absorbing Man. And you know what? We might as well go for Ultron. We might as well go for Doom at this point. Nakia is not even going to get the chance to ping him out, but Nakia would have worst case scenario. There goes Ultron. And as you can see, this is just an absolute wrap here. We do have one other option, but I don't suggest it because it seems like a waste. And that's going to be the Underworld team. So I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway, just because I know not everybody has to cover the same amount of counters an alliance like mine does. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, here we are with Underworld against the same team with Doom in it. And you don't have to worry about pushing the Doom whatsoever. You really don't. There's going to be some times where you're going to strip off that taunt from Absorbing Man just with Mr. Negative's passive. But it didn't happen here, so let's go ahead and put the ability block on him. He starts getting absolutely wrecked. He now loses his taunt. We're going to get stuck behind Kang here because this is a 6 red star Kang. He's going to have a lot more damage than that Doom. And now you see we're free to start hitting the Doom. And the thing about Underworld, they're so stupidly fast from Taskmaster turn bar that you can just hit the Doom and not care about his passive. You're going to get so many attempts to finish him off before you have to worry about absolutely anything. And as you see, this is just a wrap. I don't suggest doing this, guys. Like I said before, this is a Darkhold counter in my opinion. So let's go ahead and try the Tangled Web Cloaking Dagger versus the Doom version. I think it fails. I do think it fails. We'll see. Let's see if there's any RNG moments as well with the Kang doing his slow on somebody. So we're going to go ahead and do the ultimate here. That's going to strip the Mr. Absorbing Man, and then no. So we can go ahead and stun the Doom, so we're not worried about his passive at all. Let's see if the rest of the Masters of Evil are going to wreck me here. Not looking so good for the Masters of Evil just yet. Doom is now gone. Uh-oh. Not looking good for the Masters of Evil team here, guys. Kang's probably going to be dead here before his next turn. We'll see. Ultron's going to get a good summon up. But yeah, Kang is now gone. He's going to bleed out. Oh, wait, no, he's going to get healed, right? Nope, he's not. He's just dead. Noir gets a bunch of different speed from when the enemies get buffs, and these enemies just give themselves so many buffs. Even if Dagger died, I wouldn't have cared. So this does seem like it'll work. Obviously not as clean as the other two teams, but maybe the better option nonetheless. Dagger's going to ult here now and finish it off. I'm surprised Dagger survived that ult from Ultron, to be honest with you. Oh, come on. Stop playing with your food, Tangled Web. And there you go. This, I think, is going to be the most difficult version of Masters of Evil until Moonstone comes out. I think it would still be more difficult, even with Moonstone in there. But I wanted to show this. So let's go ahead, and it's going to be Dorm versus Masters of Evil. And just like the Doom version of it, War Dogs rips this team apart very easily, and it doesn't matter who Kang does the special on, unless the Kang one-shot somebody. I've not had that happen, but I do have a very sizable Masters of Evil, very sizable War Dog team. So it looks like Black Panther, when Million got the hit there, we want to do the special, peel that taunt off of Absorbing Man. Now we can go ahead and do a nasty rewind on whoever we want, also taking that revive off. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and maybe take out this Ultron for good. Yeah, that Ultron's gone for good. And you can play this a bunch of different ways. What I like to do is get the enemies super low so that I'm very likely to be getting these Black Panther resets, which you see I'm getting right now. He's now in stealth, but I'm not too worried about that either. Let's go ahead and steal that dodge. We actually took a dodge off of the Kang there. We probably could have just left it on him. So Nakia is going to start pinging out people like crazy here. Looks like she's going for Kang first. That's fine. Now she's going to start pinging out the DormMoE. And as you see, I was all over the place with my targeting, and it was not particularly close. War Dogs demolishes this team. Absolutely. Now, again, we're going to show the Underworld team, but I don't suggest doing that again because that is the premier Darkhold counter team. Huge punch-ups. All right, so here we are with the Underworld vs. Masters of Evil Dorm team, and as you'll see, it is almost just as easy as the Doom team. Yes, you got to kill everybody twice, but it doesn't seem to change a dang thing. So let's go ahead and put that ability block out there. It looks like it was resisted. That's fine. He still loses his taunt, and now we're going to get stuck behind the Kang. We're going to get stuck behind the DormMoE. That's correct, because DormMoE does spawn with offense up. Let's go ahead and hit him there. And the best part about DormMoE is he's going to put himself in stealth. And as we all know, Green Goblin loves to eat up stealth people. So he's going to be nice and fresh for the Green Goblin. Just like the Darkhold matchup, we want to use the Kingpin Special to get Safeguard out. And we want to use the Nobu Ultimate to get counters out. And then I don't even know if the enemy team gets a turn. So there goes DormMoE, so no charges from him. Looks like Kang does get a turn, but he's going to kill himself here just like Morgan would. I believe, yeah, look at him. He's just hitting a bunch of people. He does not know what is good for him here. And there he goes. So now he's lost his life as well. Let's go ahead and take out Titania while we're here. We got to take her out twice. That's fine. That didn't take very long. Oh, there goes Ultron to a minion. This matchup relies heavily on your Taskmaster, your Green Goblin, and your Mr. Negative. So if you're leveling up to do this matchup, make sure you focus those 3 characters. But Kingpin is actually king in the Darkhold counter, so do him too. Our options for Master of Evil teams kind of extend if it's a baby Kang. So you can use Infinity Watch, but I think what most people use, since Kang is very limited, is going to be the Unlimited X-Men. On a punch down, this can work. There are some pitfalls to look out for, which we're going to talk about right now. All right, so this is not the baby Kang team yet. What I want to do is show you how this can go absolutely wrong if you underestimate the Kang's damage. So this is, again, the 6 red star Kang. We're in here against, this is like a punch across with Infinity Watch. So punch across Infinity Watch does not seem to be a good idea. So Kang does a super whack on our Moondragon to start this off. And now what we need to do is not let Kang ult, because if Kang ult, it's a wrap. So I'll use the ultimate from Nebula here. I'll then use the basic to get through as many deflects as possible, and hopefully Nebula will pull off that taunt. She did. Now, unfortunately, we still have a dodge up on Kang. So, oh wait, no, we're going to get the dodge off here. So we get the ability block on Kang. Then Nebula will pull the dodge off. And now Phyla-Vell is going to go ahead and put offense down on Kang. Peel off that defense up. But lo and behold, his passive removes 2 debuffs, so he gets to ult. And look how much damage he did. And now Phyla-Vell and Moondragon are dead. That is the power of a big Kang. So be warned. Now here's the caveat to all this, right? I can still win this matchup. I can very, very well still win this matchup. I still have my revive characters. Kang is now gone. I took out Ultron's first life. Ultron's ult didn't kill my Adam Warlock. How? I don't know, but it didn't. And so I can still win. But look how dirty it is. Look how bad it could have been if that Kang ult had killed me. Don't like it. I don't like it at all. So that's the power of the Kang ult. If Kang was not 6 red stars and he was like 4 yellow, 4 red, my Phyla-Vell and my Moondragon would have survived. Moondragon could have healed everything up and it would have been fine. This is a punch across in war practice. So if you want to try using Infinity Watch against this Massive Evil team, make sure you're doing a punch down. This is still the same Kang we did all the other testing on. The Unlimited X-Men team will be the best team for the majority of players if you don't fall into one pitfall. And that is going to be Kang pushing somebody to 50% on his opening turn. Now, if he goes for my Dazzler, that's very likely to happen. Let's see what happens here. He goes for my Rogue. So now we're good. We'll see who the ability block goes on. Again, that's fine, because that's going to give Dazzler a bunch of speed. She's now going to cleanse it, and now my Rogue is going to get to go. Alternatively, if Kang did push somebody to 50%, Titania would have been forced to put the ability block on Rogue. I don't get to do this part right here. That gets a really, really nice speed bar up on my Rogue. And then I don't get to ultimate the Kang before his ult. And then I would lose. So this team, I think, is going to be the best for most people, because it is a horseman team, so you're going to have it super jacked up. But it does have that huge pitfall. So this was a 6 red star Kang who didn't push my characters, but my characters, like you guys know, are absolutely gigantic. So not a good benchmark for most players. But for small Kangs, this is going to be absolutely fine. Just look out for big Kangs. Look out for those big Kangs, especially if you have weaker and limited members, okay? Again, if you get pushed to 50%, it's a guaranteed loss. Masters of Evil don't want to be pigeonholed into a defense team, though, so they do take out some offensive options. They'll take out the Web Warriors, Yawn, Bionic Avengers, Yawn, Marauders, kind of interesting, and most notably, they'll take out the Young Avengers. I think it's clear this team has more value on the defensive end as far as draining your opponents, but we'll see if we can find some use for Kang as a plug-and-play. I think that could be interesting on offense. Anyway, the final verdict, the defense team as a whole is an A-, and as an offensive team, they are a low B. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.